So since I joined the business, we've grown significantly. So I think when I joined, we were around 30 people. We're now approaching 140. And the need has arisen for, I guess, a little bit of restructuring of the company to make sure that we can focus on the right things at the right time and have the right resources in place, the right people, the right skills. And that involved the splitting of Codeweavers into funding and digital store domains. I was already quite a senior product owner in terms of length of service and the role that I was playing, and I sort of progressed into head of digital store from that point.
Yeah, my journey is really similar to Abbie's, really, because we both pretty much started at the same time, around 30 people then, and you ended up needing somebody to head up the support team. And as we started to get more specialised and we've got larger and larger teams, I think there are about 15 people in the support team now. Well, it was definitely when I left the team. So it's gone from 2 to 15 in the space of about 5 years. So there's a lot of kind of specialisms that end up developing within the teams and different kind of sub-teams. And you needed somebody to kind of coordinate them all and oversee it all. And that's how I ended up in a leadership position, I guess.
Since I joined, I've been annoyingly nosy, I guess, and made sure that I'm aware and involved of as much going on in Codeweavers as possible, which at times can be really hard because we're so busy and everything is changing constantly. Yeah. But just that awareness is so valuable. And being in the office as well, being around people, which, and the company has changed since COVID, but we are encouraging more people to be in the office so that there is that natural conversation. Yeah. And you can be part of it. Even conversations that are outside of your domain, outside of your team, just catching up with each other and having like water cooler conversations, it helps so much, I think.
Yeah, and I also think for a lot of people, the goal doesn't need to be leadership.
No.
For a lot of people, I think if you think about it, you're there 5 days a week for the majority of your life. It's nice to be doing something that you enjoy and you love.
Yeah.
And a lot of us, definitely me, probably Abbie as well to an extent, we've looked at things that we're really interested in the company and got more and more involved in them. And that might end up being kind of a more sideways move. But you become really good at these things because you love doing them and you get more and more involved in them. And then you become the leader in that area, in that thing. And you end up kind of automatically getting this leadership position that doesn't have to be having taken these 10 steps that were planned out 10 years ago for how you were going to get there.
Yeah, Codeweavers looks like natural progression, I think, within a role, and almost carving out a role for yourself. It's not necessarily taking on the role of someone who's left. It's the company scaling, the business will scale to meet that demand, and roles will appear, leadership roles and non-leadership, just to sort of fill that gap and meet the needs of the business and the industry. I think I'm in the position today because of the work that I've put in, the support of other Codeweavers, and just the opportunities that I've been given and also taken for myself in part. I think that I've received the same support as anyone within my position would have. And I'm really proud of where I am today, and I love my job, and wouldn't change it for the world. Yeah.
It's nice to see that there are more women in the company now than there ever was.
Yeah.
Because I think when me and you started, we really were the minority, and it was because we were a tech company and there aren't that many women in the tech industry, or they weren't.
No, they weren't.
And even in just this 10 years, you see it massively that there are people who have joined the company kind of pretty recently who will be leaders of this company one day, and there are going to be far more women. But that just so happens to be more women being employed in the sector, right? It's what happened way down the line before anybody came to Codeweavers. Us at Codeweavers, we've filled I agree with you, completely treated equally, and
there's been a big push in general for women to get into STEM and into more tech roles, and I think Code Weavers is just benefiting from that. We don't go out like specifically trying to recruit women to get into the tech industry, but they're a great resource to have that we're benefiting from, I think.
Definitely.
So the number of female developers and just women within the business has, as you say, grown significantly since I joined 8 years ago, and it's great to see. But as I say, the opportunities that I've been given and those people are being given are because Code Weavers is just a great company to work for.